Hey everyone, Tony Ivanov here, lead trader and mentor of TradeBuddy. So today I'm going to go over a video lesson on my swing trade on UXIN and then my day trade on UXIN. So my swing trade, I really should have just stopped once I had the swing trade profits because I was up like $380. And then I took a day trade on the breakout over 590. And I just expected too much from it. I didn't really realize that UXIN is a really slow moving stock. So I gave back my profits because I had to cut the loss. So overall, I'm up 188 bucks on this name. So nothing too severe, nothing too extravagant. But just keeping it small, keeping it simple, and keeping it consistent. So with all that being said, we're just going to get right into my screen share. You're going to see my screens, exactly what I see every single morning. And we're going to break down the charts and the price action for you guys. With all that being said, if you have any questions on what brokers I use, what scanners I use, everything like that, all the basic questions, I have an FAQ in the description. So please be sure to check the description to see if your FAQ is answered before you post a comment down below. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them down below and I'll be happy to get back to you with those. And yeah, with that being said, let's get right into this. Alright, so here we are on my screen. Let me just bring up UXIN. So this is the stock that we've been kind of trading for the past 2 days. Yesterday I had a very nice morning spike. I did not trade the morning spike yesterday. I couldn't really find a good entry on it. I did trade the first bounce off of VWAP, but that quickly got stopped out because I had way too tight of a stop. So yesterday I lost about $76 total, and then I stopped trading after that because the market just really wasn't too good for day trading. It seemed like nothing too volatile. And the only trade I took yesterday was re-entering for a swing on UXIN because I just noticed that we were really holding this 525 support. And on the 30-minute chart, it looked like we were setting up to have kind of this second leg up. So you can see the initial support was this 490 area, or the initial resistance was this 490 area. We broke through it, and then we found support at this 523, 525 line. And my plan was, okay, if we can hold 525, I see no reason why we cannot have a break higher over 590s. So let me enter a swing near the 525 line and then sell into the rip in the morning. So that's what I did. Let me bring a screenshot of my entries real quick. Yesterday I entered at 1222, 1,000 shares. I bought at 532. So not an entry right against that VWAP line, but close enough. And then actually I had to go to the hospital yesterday at like midnight. Not for me, it was for a family member. Everything's fine, but I had to go to the hospital and I was up like all night, so I actually forgot about my swing trade. And I woke up like an hour and a half after market open, and I saw that UXIN was at the 580s. So of course I just got out of it because I wasn't in the right like state to trade. So essentially I got in at this 530-ish area, and my plan was to stop out if it breaks under this 522 line and take profits, of course, if it can reach as high of the area. So right at market open, it did hit this 580 line, slammed back on down. Now if I was awake during market open, I would have got out right in this area, the 570s, 580s, but because I was sleeping, I didn't really see any of this. And by the time I got up, it was like, I think, let me just bring over my cells right here. So here's UXIN. So UXIN, I sold 573, some 576, and then 5.7. So all in this 570 area, just scaling out of it. I did think that it was going to go a bit higher, so that's why I was taking small profits. I mean, my profit cushion was really big, so I didn't really have to worry too much about taking all my size off. So I was taking profits into strength, and then once it broke underneath the 570-ish, I believe 572 was the line I was watching. Once it broke under the 570s, that's when I got out the last bit, and of course that was like a fake out breakdown, and it bounced off of there. So that's exactly where I sold. So just once again, I'll bring this up for you guys. You can pause this, look at it. It doesn't have the times on it, but you can see I sold some here, and then the rest right there. And then I eventually got back in on the break over 590s because it was kind of making this cup and handle pattern. So let me just bring up my doodle pen. And I noticed that I had this kind of cup and handle right here, right? And then on the bigger time frame, if we look at the 30-minute, we had the same kind of cup and handle on right here against this 590 area. So my main area to break over was 590s. But we can see the price action at this time. It was really just stuck on this 585 area. It was really weird. Lots of sellers, lots of size on the ask, just holding it right at 585. But we had this kind of higher low pattern, which just shows major strength, and eventually it was going to break over it. Now if I played it perfectly, I would have just added in this area and then taken profits over this break. But I was looking away. I wasn't too focused. Like I said, I wasn't really in the right state of mind to trade, but I still did, I guess. And once we popped over this 590 area, that's where I got in 1,000 shares at 593. And my target was 650. And this is where I made the first mistake. I really didn't look at the volatility of UXIN, and I expected it to give too much. If we look at this chart, we can see that it really doesn't give big swings. It doesn't move so much. Like for example, this morning it went up to 575, dropped back down to 530s and consolidated there. That's not a big range. And when we're trading these penny stocks, we need to have some good range. Like for example, this dip right here, it's only about 7.3%, meaning the potential range it can give is barely 10%. And I want to trade stocks that give 20, 30, 40% range. So that's the first mistake I did on UXIN. I didn't consider the range, and because I didn't consider the range, I had too high expectations for the profit target. Meaning, for example, I got in at 590s and my goal to sell was 650s. That's a profit of around 10%. But looking at UXIN, we don't really have those 10% moves, so I shouldn't have expected to, get that much. I should have gone for either a smaller profit target. However, even better, what I should have done is just avoid UXIN in general overall, because it doesn't give me the range that I would want. So it's not worth me putting my money towards it if it doesn't give me the profit potential that I'm looking for. So that's one of the main mistakes I made in UXIN, and that's why I didn't take any profits into this push up to 618, because I really thought that it was going to bounce off of 590 and then go higher, hit that 650 line, but it didn't do that whatsoever. So my stop for UXIN was this 577 line, and the way I got that is if we just look at the line chart, we can see that the morning high today stopped out 577, and then we can see that this little range here, we had some nice bounces off that 577 line as well. So that's why I had that type of stop loss right there, right there, right there. You can see all this area holding 577s. So my risk was around 12 cents and my profit target was around 60 cents, which normally is a good risk reward ratio. But in the case of UXIN, I just had too high hopes of it. I had too high of a profit target for it. What I should have done is had a smaller risk, so say 5 cents, and then my profit target say 25, 30 cents. But like I said, when a stock is $5, $6, that's only a 5% profit and a 2.5% risk, which is very small. And I always like to go for at least 10% profits just so my money is actually working, because keep in mind, I am using a cash account. So whenever I take a trade, I cannot use that money for 2 days. So I like to reserve my money on trades that can at least make me 10%. Of course, more is better. But for UXIN, the way I played it, playing the breakout, it just didn't really have that profit potential. So I ended up getting stopped out. So I'll just show you that right here. Now this one, like I did hold it for quite some time. See, I bought 593s and then I waited. It was really holding 577s for a while, but it didn't have the strength to bounce up. So eventually I got stopped out 576. So overall, up 188 bucks on that name. Going into tomorrow, I really want another stock to, have the most volume, because UXIN is just not cutting it for me. It has a big float. It has a ton of volume in it. It's very liquid, but it just doesn't get the type of explosiveness that I'm used to by trading lower floats. So going into tomorrow, I really want to see a different stock, have some nice news, have some nice volume. If not, UXIN, I will probably just leave it alone and not trade it. Hey, I'm assuming that if you watched this entire video, you saw some great value out of it. I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button to be notified of any future videos that I make. Keep in mind, I make videos almost every single day, and I live stream every single day in the TradeBuddy community. All information is down below for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.